Hello, sixth grade. Good morning. Today it's Wednesday, hump day. It's March 25th. Our devotion today is called Free at Last. You're going to find out about your horse picture later. It was in 1807 that the British Parliament abolished the slave trade. Since 1772, it had been legally recognized that individuals in Britain could not be slaves. However, that did not prevent the British from participating and leading the international trade in slaves. British ships loaded with cheap goods such as firearms, gunpowder, alcohol, and beads would sail to Africa, and they'd return with slaves. At the height of the slave trade, British ships were said to carry about 50,000 slaves a year. It was in the late 1700s, men like William Wilberforce and Thomas Clarkston worked tirelessly to stir public opinion against this practice. Then in 1807, as the acting spokesman in Parliament against slavery, Wilberforce was successful in getting the slave trade abolished throughout the British Empire. But that was only the beginning. Wilberforce spent the remaining years of his life working for the abolition of slavery itself. In 1833, as Wilberforce lay dying, he was informed that the Abolition of Slavery Act was passed. After a bloody civil war, the United States freed all its slaves and abolished slavery some 30 years later. It's hard for us to understand the concept of slavery today. We live in a country where we are free to speak our minds, to worship as we please, and go where we want. Not right now, though. We consider ourselves free people. But the Bible tells us that there is another type of slavery. If we are without Jesus, we are slaves to our selfish desires and our sinful nature. Slavery to sin is bad news. The good news is that Jesus died on the cross to set us free from sin. That doesn't mean we are free to do whatever we want. No, that would lead us right back into slavery. Jesus has to set us free to live unselfishly for Him and for others. Celebrate your freedom today. That's hard for us to do when we are practicing staying in our homes and staying away from people to catch germs. But we do still have some freedoms. Our verse from Galatians 5, chapter 5, verse 1 says, "For freedom Christ set us free. Stand firm then, and don't submit again to a yoke of slavery." And here's your picture. It was on this day, March 25th of 1668. The first horse race in America took place. I just found you a horse picture. This isn't of the first race in 1668, obviously, but thought that was a cool fact. 1668, first horse race, and that was in America. Not the world, but America took place. Have a good day. Don't forget to check all your tasks off, and keep working hard, guys. You guys are doing great.